For more on this summit, we're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Dr. Nabil Negm, member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Dr. Nabil, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you and your teamwork.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time this afternoon. Now, Doctor, let's talk a bit about the importance of the Africa Forward Summit, which is currently being held in Nairobi, Kenya, especially in light of the current regional as well as continental and international challenges.
To be honest with you, what happened in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, the 11th and 12th of May, these are historical 2 days. Historical in different aspects. Number one, that France now is talking about equal partnership. Equal partnership means at last Africa is going to have that sort of respect when it comes to dealing from the northern nations, which used to be a colonized state.
Yes.
Now we are coming to that equal partnership. Number two, the UN Secretary General, who is attending that historical summit, spoke about the injustice when it comes to the financial dealings with the African states. And he asked for more equal and more fair financial agreements with the African states. Number three is Egypt is in the center of that historical summit. Because Monsieur Macron, before he goes to Nairobi, Kenya, he made sure to stop here in Cairo and coordinate with President Sisi for the summit and for the future of Africa and the world.
Indeed. Dr. Nabil, now a very important thing, as you mentioned, this summit is drawing the participation of over 30 African leaders and focusing on African-French partnership in order for it to become more of a partnership, not just viewing the African continent as a source of mineral wealth or raw materials, but moving towards a change in this dynamic in the relationship between African countries and France. How important do you see this shift, and what does it mean for African countries to have a change in this relationship?
First of all, Africa is a continent which is full of natural resources.
Yes.
Minerals, water, land, people. Everything is in Africa, except one thing: the fair managing of those resources. Africa has suffered a lot from the unfair relations from the north and western countries to Africa. This historical summit is putting an end to this, and I wish that the African leaders come together, and Cairo is the big hub for all the African states, and together we can generate an African voice which would impose its will on this unfair world order.
Absolutely. Dr. Nabil, also, you know, the host country, Kenya, said that African leaders are going to use the summit to put a fresh push, if you may, on rethinking price risk on the continent, as well as unlocking investment flows into key sectors. How do you see this approach to this very important meeting?
Right. There is 1,500 shareholders and business people attending that summit. And one of the first big results of the summit that France has declared a 23 billion euros, which is equal to $27 billion for investments in Africa. Investments in agriculture, education, trade, artificial intelligence, and every aspect which would save the African people from poverty and from the terrorist organizations. Number two, this summit is to push for easier access to credit that could help fund major investments and boost economic growth. Mr. Macron said he supported creating a first loss guarantee mechanism to de-risk investments on the continent, and would lobby for the idea at the G7 summit, which is coming next July. So, sorry, next June. So I believe very much, as Egypt is the country which has helped African countries to get their independence, now Egypt and France together can really open a new page to get the African resources for the African people, not for the abusers from north and west.
Absolutely. Dr. Nabil, also in remarks by the Kenyan Foreign Minister, he said that price risking means African states will no longer be penalized by the perception that they are riskier, for example, than peer countries for investment in their countries. How important do you see this? What is your comment on the statement specifically that there is a perception that Africa has been regarded as a high-risk area, not very attractive for investors?
To be honest with you, there is 30 African government leaders attending that Nairobi French Africa Summit.
Yes.
Those leaders, as well as heads of multilateral financial institutions and business executives from across Africa and France, are attending this summit to change or transform dreams into projects and projects into results.
Yes.
So this process is generating a new mechanism. And I have written about a year ago an article calling for a permanent seat for Africa in the Security Council. Because Africa is totally marginalized when it comes to international affairs. I believe that this French, Egyptian, African alliance is going to change the map, first in Africa and second in the world.
Absolutely right. We'll have to leave it at that. We've run out of time, but I'd like to thank you very, very much, our dear guest, Dr. Nabil Negm, member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Many thanks, sir, for your time and your insight and for joining us on today's edition of Africa Today. With that, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of Africa Today, we do hope you have enjoyed it and you're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Thank you for joining us.